Okay, so I will give a free problem set to anyone who knows the answer to this. I think we might have already talked about it, but
wait, does that mean we don't have to do a problem set?
Yeah, that means then you can cash it in as like instead of a problem set. So this is what are we're algebra 1/2.
I'm focusing now.
Lesson 3. What are the 3 parts of a subtraction problem?
Oh no, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna answer this. Oh, I'm stupid.
Can anyone, don't say one part. If you know 3 parts, raise your hand.
Can I go to the bathroom and look it up?
Well, at least you're honest. I don't want to know what you do in the bathroom. Okay.
The subtractor.
That's actually, ironically, pretty close.
Subtracted.
Anyone know?
The sub something.
Sub factor?
Yes, it's called a sub something.
Subfactor.
Not a factor. Factors are for multiplication, remember.
I don't know.
Wait, I should.
It's a really funky word that you probably have never used. You might have heard it, but I guarantee you've never used it in a sentence.
Subtraction.
Maybe some of you have never used that word too.
Come on.
Is it okay if we cheat with a calculator?
Yes, you can cheat with a calculator.
How would that help?
Actually, we're in pre-algebra, so calculators will be allowed second semester. So you have to earn the right. You have to survive the first semester. If you survive the first semester, you are allowed to use a calculator.
Sub-zero. I'm legally allowed.
Okay, so
Sub-zero.
the first one is called a minuend
Bro, I knew that.
minus the subtrahend.
Oh, dang it. I never
Difference.
learned this in teaching textbooks.
Do you guys remember the
Difference.
answer to a subtraction problem?
Difference.
Difference, that's right.
That's my second guess, but
Alright, Austin gets a free problem set. He got one of them.
All right, you just get my respect, is what you get.
and
Respect
Okay,
for the
so subtrahend. Why? Do you remember the 3 parts of an addition problem? We talked about that last time. Yeah, what is
the
it?
add-in
Add-in plus another add-in,
is the
sum.
and then the sum is the answer. So why does the subtraction problem have 2 different words, but the addition problem just has add-in plus another add-in?
Because it's different.
Who can give me a good answer for that? Yeah.
Because you're subtracting from one number,
Uh-huh.
like how much you're subtracting from a different number. With addition, you're just adding the 2 numbers together.
Yep, you are. And here's the key. It doesn't matter which number you add first, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what order you're adding. Like 5 plus 3 is the same thing as 3 plus 5. So they both have the same name. You're still adding 3 to 5 or 5 to 3. Same thing. But 5 minus 3 does not equal 3 minus 5.
The minuend always
Okay.
go first.
Equals
So-
minus 2.
Right, so the minuend is typically, if we're not dealing with negative numbers, the minuend is the bigger number, right?
Yeah.
The subtrahend is the smaller number, and then the difference is somewhere still smaller than the minuend, sometimes smaller than both, okay? But, so it kind of makes sense that if you add the difference plus the subtrahend, you'll get the minuend, right?
yes.
So, for example, 5 minus 3 equals 2. So 2 plus 3 equals 5, but what about 2 plus 5? Is 2 plus 5 equal to 3?
No.
No. So that's like another subtraction problem.
Yes.
So the fact family is you can still do 4. Did we talk about fact families yet?
No.
Yeah, so you can arrange these 3 numbers 4 different ways. So you have 5 minus 3 equals 2, 2 plus 3 equals 5, also 5 minus 2 equals 3, and 3 plus 2 equals 5. So see how this is 4 different math problems.
Yes.
Okay? In addition, if you have blah plus blah equals blah, it's always answer minus this equals the other one, or answer minus this. So you always do the opposite. But sometimes when you're trying to find the missing number in a subtraction problem, it's another subtraction problem. So that's kind of weird. All right, let me talk about inverse operations. Inverse operations are basically, you can go backwards. So the inverse operation of subtraction is addition. So 5 minus 3 equals 2. So 2 plus 3 equals 5. So see how I kind of went backwards logically. So I subtracted 3 from 5 to get 2. And if I go backwards, I add 3 back to 2 to get 5. Okay? Those are inverse operations. Inverse operations undo each other. So for example, 5 times 3 divided by 3. So multiplying by 3 and then dividing by 3 just cancel each other out your face. So it's like it never happened. It's like you never multiplied by 3. Because if you multiply by 3 and then divide by 3, dividing by 3 undoes the multiplication. So then you're just where you started at 5. Okay? So we can find the missing number. So for example, what is the missing number? How do you find this missing number? 472 plus A equals 628. What kind of math problem are you going to put together to figure that out, Nathan?
Subtraction.
Subtraction. So with addition, if you're missing one of the addends, it's always a subtraction problem to find the missing addend. Okay? So 628 minus 472, and you get 146. No, 156. Sorry.
Oh, but he cut his own mistake.
Yeah. What happens if you catch me in a mistake?
Free problem
Free
set.
problem set. All right.
Can you bribe us with more free problem sets?
Yes.
Nice.
Yes, I will bribe you with more free problem sets.
Thank you.
You remember, if you get a 90 or above on your test, free problem set.
Yes,
sir.
Right?
What?
Yes, sir. Yes,
So
sir.
why? Because you've proven to me that you don't need as much practice as the practice that I'm giving you. Okay, so what happens if I'm missing something like this? 526 minus y equals 329. How do you find that missing number? What do you do?
Hold up, I gotta think.
You subtract.
Yeah, so the knee-jerk reaction is to say, oh, the opposite of subtraction is addition. But what happens when you add 500-ish plus
Wrong.
300-ish?
You get too
Wrong.
much of a
You
big
get
number.
800-ish, and trying to subtract 800-ish from 500-ish is not going to give you that. Okay? So, addition is not the solution. This is another subtraction problem. So this is 526 minus 329. And what does that equal? I'm cheating now. No, I don't even have the
I
answer.
know what.
What do you get?
Yeah.
Did you get it?
Wow.
197.
197.
That was
All
my
right.
third guess.
So then you take that answer and you just check it. Just make sure it works. You don't have to check it perfectly, but let's ish this. Is it 500-ish minus 200-ish? Does that equal 300-ish?
Yes, it
Yeah, that's
Yes.
more the solution than that 800-ish solution was not working for us.
Yes, sir.
Okay? Yes, sir. All right?
Yes.
So far, so good? So when you're missing an addend in an addition problem, how do you find the missing addend?
Subtraction.
Yes, subtract the sum minus the other addend, right? Are you always going to do that
No.
when you're missing the addend?
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, you are. Now, when you're missing one of the things in a subtraction problem, how do you find the missing thing in a subtraction problem?
You subtract.
Sometimes you subtract, but sometimes you add.
If it's
So
the
for
other
example, 5 minus x equals 2. That is another subtraction problem. But what if it was 5 or x minus 320 equals 100? How do you find that x?
Ooh.
Adam.
Add them together. So this is an addition problem. So when you're missing a component in a subtraction problem, it depends on which one you're missing. When you're missing the minuend, it's an addition problem to get back to the minuend. When you're missing the subtrahend, it is another subtraction problem, the minuend minus the difference. Okay, you don't have to remember that. You just have to go with your gut. So if you were to add these together, your gut says, wait a minute, I'm going to end up with a bigger number than 526, and that's not going to work, right? So use your gut. And if this is too confusing for you, just write a really simple problem. What's the simplest addition or subtraction problem that you know? Give me a...
1
1
plus
minus 2.
340.
So how about
3
3
minus 1.
minus 2 equals 1? That's pretty simple, right?
Yeah.
So if I'm missing the 2, how do I get back to the 2? Is it 1 plus 3?
No.
No, it's 3 minus 1. If I'm missing the 3, how do I get back to the 3?
You
That's
add
an
it to
addition.
E.
Okay, so if you're confused on if you're going to add or subtract, you could just try both and see which answer makes more sense.
Yeah.
Or you could try it with an easy problem, cover up whatever you're missing. Okay?